Texas Department of Public Safety Lieutenant Chris Olivarez and independent journalist Auden Cabello, who I've spent a lot of time with both of you gentlemen, and from the fentanyl, from the drugs, to the TDA, violent Venezuelan gang members, to children, unaccompanied minors coming across. We've seen and will play for you of that video that LT you had of the 10-year-old. But breaking news right now, we have the pictures of a 5-year-old that was being smuggled yet again in Maverick County. What can you tell us, LT?
Well, Griff, first off, these unaccompanied children, these events that we're capturing is becoming all too common now. Just as you mentioned, I just received information and some photos of a 5-year-old little girl that was smuggled across the border in Del Rio yesterday. And one of those images there, you can actually see the criminal smuggler from Mexico carrying the child across the Rio Grande River, and then was picked up by a smuggler who was then transported to a hotel. Now, our state troopers, our investigators were at the right place at the right time when they were able to capture the child and that smuggler you see in the photo right now, arriving at the hotel. And we were able to intercept and rescue that child, a 5-year-old, as I mentioned. And of course, as we went through the investigation, we spoke to the mother. The mother is a permanent resident here in North Carolina from Mexico. And she said that she paid $8,000 to a criminal organization to get her child across the border. Now, I think this really highlights the inner workings between families and legal guardians and people that are trying to get their children across the border by, having this coordination with criminal organizations in Mexico and also in the United States, and how it works between smugglers in the United States and criminal smugglers in Mexico. So it's a really devastating and really sad, story chain of events that we're seeing. I mean, I shared multiple videos throughout the week of a 2-year-old and a 10-year-old that were brought across the border by themselves. But it's becoming all too common now. And really, if it wasn't for our state troopers and our investigators being there, there's no telling what could have happened to this child, where she would have ended up if we weren't there in time to rescue her. And that's why many children are forced into labor or sex trafficking, because that is just the reality of the situation on the border right now when it involves unaccompanied children.
A reality that is as heartbreaking as it can be. Auden, you spend time and reside in Piedras Negras across from Eagle Pass. You know it better than anybody. What can you tell us about this surge that appears to be happening and what you know is happening on the Mexican side?
Well, as I've been reported in southern Mexico, we've had at least 6 caravans that have departed the state of Chiapas. And the whole argument is whether these caravans will arrive to the U.S.-Mexico border. And the answer is no, because of a tactic well known in Mexico called Operación Hormiga, or ant operation. And basically, just as LT described, a lot of this is outsourced to criminal elements, organized crime, where they're crossing the migrants at remote areas. And you're not going to see them arrive all at once, like we did with the Haitians when they all arrived by the busload in Acuña, across from Del Rio, or by train, like we saw in Piedras Negras across from Eagle Pass. You're going to see this slow arrival, scattered, of migrants that are being moved by criminal elements. And I think once Trump takes office, we're going to see more of it. And just when you thought that, Operation Lone Star was very effective and that, they're reaching the end point, I think it's going to be a lot more work for them, especially now that, like I said, that these families are outsourcing and also the corruption in Mexico. They're outsourcing all this criminal, the illegal crossings to the criminal elements in Mexico.
LT, you have your hands full there in Del Rio and Eagle Pass. In fact, we can show you just yesterday, in the last 24 hours, while numbers are lower, Eagle Pass is yet now back to being ground zero for crossings, more than 450 in that Del Rio sector, which encompasses Eagle Pass, but it's more than San Diego, more than Tucson right now, more than El Paso. LT, obviously, you've doubled resources and you're seeing it there, but what is the plan going forward if this surge is coming, and how do you guys plan to handle it?
Well, you brought up those stats, and actually I was going to mention those stats as of yesterday. The Del Rio sector now is back, number one as far as all the sectors across the southwest border. And just one thing I want to touch on, Auden's been doing some great reporting as far as describing the complexities of Mexico and the United States and how these internal workings are related to illegal immigration and how these smaller groups are making their way to our southern border, which it's been consistent ever since the start of the year. So how we tackle that is we want to be proactive, regardless of the numbers, regardless of the fact that numbers are down, especially in Texas, over 86%, because I would credit that to our efforts. But nonetheless, we are still seeing smaller groups. And with those groups, you are seeing more unaccompanied children and also special interest aliens from adversarial countries. And what can we do to try to tackle that and try to prevent that? Well, we double down our resources, we ramp up our efforts, we reinforce areas along the border with razor wire, infrastructure, wherever we can actually have that ability as a state to do that. We'll continue to make those efforts possible. But again, as Auden mentioned, we're not out of the clear yet, and we could possibly see more of these smaller groups coming across the border, more children, more criminals that are going to try to be captured as that desperation level reaches an all-time high because of the fact that there's going to be a new administration.
And I want to get, Auden, before we run out of time, your take on how is this all playing in the Mexican media on the southern side of our border with the reported phone call between Trump and Sheinbaum, and with the incoming border czar Tom Homan continuing to really speak about how they're going to go hard and fast on day one at shutting down the border?
Yeah, so one thing that I've always said about Mexico is they're very duplicitous in their ways. Domestically, they'll say one thing, and that's what we saw with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, where domestically she publicly read out the letter that she sent to President Trump. And then we saw the statement from President Trump saying that the border was closed. So there's this disparity of messaging, but the reality on the ground in Mexico is that they also see an uptick in violence. You see the cartel fighting in the state of Sinaloa and also in Tamaulipas, and that's what's pushing these unaccompanied children and the CIAs, the special interest aliens, through the state of Coahuila. And that's why I've been predicting that we're going to see more of it. And the Mexican media, the messaging, like I said, it's quite different than what the U.S. media is reporting. One single phone call is not going to solve this situation. I think the battle is ahead of us.
The battle is ahead, and we will be following it closely. Auden Cabello, Lieutenant Olivarez, thank you for your time and great insight. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Griff.